Okay, today we're making some air fried chicken strips. They're gonna be gosh dang delicious. Now, I would rather have some deep fried chicken strips, however they are unhealthy, and I'm trying to get healthier. Air frying things actually reduces calorie counts by 60 to 70%, and sometimes up to 3% of the fat is reduced as well. That's good. Now, it's gosh dang blasphemy to actually air fry things. I would rather deep fry them because it's yummier, but we're gonna do it air fried, and I think you're going to really enjoy it. Okay, this is gonna take 5 steps. First, we're gonna soak the chicken strips in pickle juice overnight. And then secondly, we're going to let the chicken strips that we soaked, we're gonna put them in an egg and milk mixture, and we're gonna let them soak for 3 hours. And then we're going to dip them, soak them, dip them, air fry them, eat them. I think you'd really like it. Okay, we decided to use chicken tenders, just store-bought, but you can get chicken breasts and then cut them up as well. So these chicken tenders have little tendons on them, so I'm just chopping off the little tendons and cutting off the fat. Once you get them prepared, you're gonna stick them in a large Ziploc bag with your pickle juice. Chuck them in the bag, and then take your pickle juice, put it in there. Okay, the reason for the pickle juice is it adds some salt and some yummy flavor, and then it also helps to hydrate the chicken. So what we're gonna do next, we're gonna just stick this in the fridge overnight, and then tomorrow we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so I put my spice mix together. All of the ingredients will be listed below and the amounts, and it includes 11 herbs and spices and a magic one, and I bet you can guess what that magic one is. It's MSG. That one's optional, but it just adds some added flavor. The spice mix includes salt, thyme, basil, oregano, celery salt, black pepper, dried mustard, paprika, garlic powder, ground ginger, white pepper, and like I said, MSG. It's a really nice mixture. And we're gonna take this and we're gonna add it to our milk and egg mixture. We're gonna take half of this and we're gonna add it to our chicken and toss it in the chicken. And then we're gonna add it to the milk and egg mixture. So the rest of the spice mixture, we're gonna take half of it and put it into one bag of flour. And then we're gonna put it in the other bag of flour, and I'll show you how to manage that later. But before we use all this, I'm gonna put this in a spice grinder and blend it up really well because some of these spices are kind of chunky. Okay, you can see I split off that flour mixture into 2 separate bags. Okay, we're gonna make our milk and our egg mixture. So I measured out 2 cups of milk, and I'm just using 2% milk, and then 2 whole eggs. Okay, and then you're gonna whisk them together really, really well. So the reason we're using a milk and an egg mixture is it helps to bind the flour to the chicken strips. Okay, so it's been about 24 hours later, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the chicken out of our bag that was filled with pickle juice and plop it into your bowl. And then we're gonna add half of the spices like we talked about earlier, and we're gonna mix it up really well. Okay, add your spices and then give it a good mix. Cover every little nook and cranny. Okay, and something I forgot to tell you that I decided to do the other day, I decided to make tiny little slits in the chicken here, and I just run my knife down the chicken and create little crevices in the chicken so the flour will stick to them a whole lot better. So just make a few little slits with a super sharp knife, okay? And you don't necessarily have to do this, but I found that the breading actually holds on to the chicken a whole lot better. Okay, so we're gonna take our chicken that we made the little slits in and are evenly seasoned. We're going to put them in our milk and egg mixture and then cover this with press and seal wrap. We're going to let it sit for 3 hours in the fridge. Okay, I'll cover this with some press and seal. Give it a smiley face so it tastes good. Okay, I forgot to say this earlier, but you're gonna wanna take your chicken out and let it sit at room temperature for about 30 minutes before you cook it. Okay, then we're gonna take the chicken, shake it off, and put it in your first bag of flour. And you may have to work in batches. And just toss these around in your flour. Make sure they get coated nicely. You can see they look nice and craggly. If you don't know what craggly means, go to chadsurbandictionary.com and you'll see the definition of craggly. All right, this is what these puppies look like after they're breaded. I'm gonna let them sit for 15 minutes. You can start to see that the moisture comes through the breading. And what we're gonna do next, we're gonna dip them again, and then we're gonna bread them again, and we're gonna let them sit for 15 minutes, and then we're gonna cook them. Now we're on the second part of this, so you're gonna dunk your chicken. Dunk it in the sauce. Okay, after you get them all moisty, liquidy, and you're gonna put them in your second bag that we prepared earlier that has your flour, your cornstarch, and your spices. So cover them really well, and then you're gonna lay them back out on the tray here, and then you're gonna let them sit for another 15 minutes. Next, you could spray your chicken with some Chosen Foods avocado oil. Looking for a sponsor. Okay, spraying good. Okay, now you wanna get these kind of moist before you put them in your air fryer. You don't want any dry chicken. And then what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna sprinkle a little pepper on there. You don't have to do this, but it makes it really nice. Okay, good, 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 good. Spray, spray, spray. And then pat it in. Give your chicken a massage. And a spray. And a massage. Okay, turn on your air fryer. You want 10 minutes and you want to cook it at 380 degrees Fahrenheit. Hit start. Now you're gonna have to follow your manufacturer's instructions on how to use your air fryer. All right, flip your chicken over. Flip those puppies over. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit them with some oil again, a little bit more pepper. And we'll stick them in the air fryer. Okay, after this preheated, I'm gonna put 5 chickens in there. You might be able to get 6 in there. It just kind of depends on the size of your basket.
Make sure there's plenty of space in there. So chicken's got room. Make sure there's space. So chicken's got room to cook.
Okay. Flip them over halfway. They look good. If you feel like you need to put some more avocado oil on these puppies, feel free to do so. These are looking pretty dang good. Okay. Flip them over and hit them with a little bit more olive oil. Okay, put them back in for the remainder of the time. And then before you eat them, make sure you check their temperature. You want them at 165 degrees or greater. All right, there's our chickens. Look at those puppies. They'll look great. They're all craggly and delicious looking. And then just make sure your internal temp is over 165. That one's 190-ish. Okay, that one's 190. This fatter one, 185, still good. That one's gonna be 190. Okay, that one's 200. That one's a skinnier one. That looks pretty dang good. As a test, we're actually going to fry one of these chicken tenders to see how it tastes to an air fried chicken tender. So I have some canola oil in here, and I'm gonna get this up to about 350 degrees. I'm gonna fry it and make sure the internal temperature is 165. before you eat it. We'll see how it turns out. Okay, you can see that I've got this canola oil up to 360, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the chicken in, and we're gonna cook it evenly on both sides until it becomes golden brown. And the internal temp reads 165. Put Mr. Chicken in there. Bubbling. Okay, that's our chicken. It's about 198 internal temperature. That only took 2 to 3 minutes, maybe less than that. It actually turned out pretty good. Okay, so take a nice little photo up close, and that looks delicious. Here's our taste test. This is our air fried chicken strip. Look at that sucker. Okay, and then here's our deep fried chicken nugget. It has better color. Okay, but let's taste it. Let's start with the air fried first, the healthier version. It's pretty hot. That's good. It's got pickle juice in there. It's amazing. Each stand on their own. But if you want to put some special sauce on there, you can. That's delicious. Let's try the deep fried. Are pretty good too. I'll tell you something. That sucker is magical. Nice and soft. Moist. No, I'm not supposed to use the word moist. Nobody likes it. But that's a freaking good chicken wing nugget. It's a nugget, a tender. Holy cow, that is good. That's the best chicken nugget I've ever made. Even though they're not chicken nuggets, you can make chicken nuggets. These are so good, I'm shocked. Make them right now. And the reason for the chickle juice, shake them off. Then we're gonna take the chicken, quiet on the dang set, you sons of monkeys. Air fried chicken wing, pretty good looking. Oh yeah, okay. So going, take your chicken out, spank it chicken, spank it chicken. Quiet on the set.